Dig him up? Does he think I'm a fart head? Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. This time I'm coming at you to review the Blu-ray of Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives from the recently released Scream/Shout Factory Friday the 13th Deluxe Edition box set. Just watch this movie. God, I can just. This is, you know what? This movie divides a lot of fans. Some say it's too funny, and it's not serious enough. I mean, this is one of the first Friday the 13th movies I saw in the late 80s. And it really goes with my personality. I think by the time you get to 6 of any, I mean, pretty much any horror franchise, it's becoming kind of like a. It's just, I mean, it's inevitable that you're gonna start poking fun at yourself. I think 6 is just so well done. I don't like to take sides. I'm not taking sides. I'm just simply saying how I feel about it. It's just so fun. It's a popcorn movie. It's just really accessible. Friday the 13th. It's just really well conceived and executed and really well done. And as a huge Friday the 13th fan, I don't have a problem with it at all. And the reason why is because, I mean, up until now, I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 relatively serious. I think what's interesting is like 5 kind of started the whole. That was just like black comedy. That kind of started the goofiness with the Friday the 13th films, and then 6 kind of followed suit. But 7 was kind of cool because it was a little more. It was back to being a little more serious and stuff, and I guess one could say exploitative as well. But I'm here to talk about the recently released Blu-ray of 6, of course. Just having watched this, and I knew that for a long time. The first Blu-ray that came out of 6 or whatever, they said there was some color grading that was off, or it had a green tint or whatever. And I always watched it, and I'm like, you know what? I mean, like the night scenes always seemed on the first Blu-ray that came out. Always seemed kind of purple to me, and I don't think that's exactly how it was meant to be. But for the most part, I was just glad to be watching Friday 6, the first Blu-ray that came out on Blu-ray with the high definition and the crisper definition and stuff. So I didn't really let it bother me. But I got to tell you, when I watched this Blu-ray, which is said to have been that kind of greenish tint, and it was kind of like purplish hue to the night scenes and stuff, was said to have been corrected and stuff. And I gotta tell you, it was almost like a new scan. Now, from what I understand, it's not a new scan. It's the previous scan that was featured on the original DVD or the original Blu-ray, that was just color corrected, or the color was changed or whatever. And I gotta tell you, it looks like a new scan. It looks absolutely unbelievable. And it's funny how I've been watching that first Blu-ray for almost 10 years, and I just kind of got used to it looking that way. And when I watched this, it was just like, oh my God, this really looks good. So, when I got the box set and stuff, I was thinking, well, the first 4 movies, new scans, original, first 5 movies, original mono audio and stuff like that. That's really going to be what I'm really going to get the collection for. Well, it turns out like the first 6 movies. Although 5 looks the same, it's got original mono, of course, but 6 actually's got, for the first time, original stereo, which sounds really good, and the fixed color correction issue that was a problem with the first Blu-ray, on the tin, and then of course the Paramount would issue the Blu-ray 8 film collection as well. Same transfer on both of those Blu-rays, and this is the first time Part 6 actually gets on Blu-ray. What you would call more true to the original release. And god dang, I mean, like every scene, it's funny because when you do the screenshot comparison between the first Blu-ray and now this Blu-ray, it's like you can't barely even tell. But when you watch the movie, it's just oh my God, as this scene comes on, this scene comes on, this scene comes on, this scene comes on, the difference is just so. It's just like, oh my God, so it's so notable, So I can definitely say, like with the Blu-ray releases of, Final Chapter and New Beginning, that I'll definitely pretty much exclusively be watching the Blu-ray, or this Blu-ray release of Part 6 as well. As I said, I think I mentioned on my reviews of like the first movie and stuff. I mean, I really, there's something about the first Blu-ray of the first movie, I think that really works, it being kind of a low budget movie. And I still, even after seeing the new scan of the first movie, I still like and will probably on occasion still watch the first Blu-ray of the first movie. But as far as Part 6 goes, I mean, the image enhancements or the color correction work that was done on the Scream Factory Blu-ray of Part 6 is just makes, you know, the other Blu-ray version just not, basically you're not going to want to ever watch it again, basically is what it boils down to. So I would definitely, if you guys are on the fence, I can't imagine why any Friday the 13th fan would be on the fence about this collection. It's like pretty much, in my opinion, the must-buy Blu-ray release of the year. If you're on the fence about it and you're like, yeah, the first 4 movies are, you know, new scans, yeah, you got original audio, yeah. I mean, 6 is just like, oh my God. I didn't think it'd be that much of a difference, but I can really definitely say that it is a difference. I'm pretty sure the only new special feature on this particular release is a new audio commentary with actors C.J. Graham, Tom Mathews, Vincent, Guastaferro, Kerry, Noonan, and Cynthia, Kania, whatever the hell, however, there's always got to be one last name I can't pronounce. That is, I'm pretty sure that's the only new special feature on this release, and of course you can see the other special features as well on the back here. What's kind of frustrating about this release is, like, for the, you know, if on the back of the Part 2 Blu-ray, probably because, you know, they started printing the stuff, but, you know, before they did some of those, maybe before they did both of those Part 2 commentaries. I don't think any of the 2 commentaries from Part 2 are actually in the back of the case for Part 2, which is kind of a bummer. I don't know if is that the same way with New Beginning? I don't know. Who that, well, it's right here. I don't have to ask, oh no, they got the commentary with New Beginning on there. Yeah, but there's nothing on the back of Part 2 about audio commentary, but they mentioned the audio commentary on the back of Part 5. So I just, you know what, oh my God, how many new commentaries of the movies I'm interested in? We got 2 for Part 2 and 1 for 6. I mean, that's 3 whole feature-length movies. I did do both of the full commentaries for Part 2. I just don't have time, so I did like 40 minutes of the first 40 minutes of the commentary, the new commentary on this release. And I gotta say, you know, the Part 2 one with the whole group, you know, the group people in just the kind of the Skype quality and all this and that kind of put me off a little bit. But the group commentary in this one I feel like isn't as crammed, and I feel like it does feel like a few people are either in the corner or, you know, possibly on Skype or, you know, over the phone or something like that. But the quality isn't as bad as it is on like the group commentary for Part 2 for me. So for this one, the first 40 minutes anyway of the commentary, the new group commentary I think is good, and it's really great to hear from Tom Mathews, and he's kind of mumbly and quiet. There's instances where I don't see, personally, I don't understand why the movie soundtrack has to play at all in commentaries. There's instances where some of the people are too quiet, and it's just like, why do they have to have the movie sound? If the movie soundtrack wasn't there, you'd be able to hear, you know, the people talking. Then it sounds like they're in some room where the next door they're doing some, you know, carpentry work or something like that on the walls. They're drilling on the walls, and it's just like, oh my God, you know. So I mean, the technical quality of the commentary, or the new commentary on this with the group commentary and Tom Mathews and stuff like that, the volumes are all over the place, and, you know, it sounds like carpentry work going on. So it's, you know, and of course you've got Peter Bracke basically moderating the thing, and, you know, I gotta admit, with this set, it's kind of like, God dang, you kind of get sick of hearing him, but at the same time, he's such a well-known, or he's such a, you know, he's so well-versed in the Friday the 13th franchise that it makes sense to have him moderate all these commentaries. On one hand, it makes sense. On the other hand, I kind of get sick of hearing them, whatever. It's not a big deal, but I can recommend the first 40. You know, I imagine the rest of the commentary is fine as well. So the commentary, you know, I'm trying to get these reviews shot and stuff, and I'll probably, obviously, at some point finish the commentary, but I'm trying to get these reviews shot and uploaded before, you know, frickin' Doomsday, or the not so great reset, if you will. So, you know, bear with me just doing, like, for the first 40 minutes of the commentary. You're definitely going to get a sense of, you know, the overall commentary by listening to the first 40 minutes. I was surprised to basically the two women, you know, people who are in the commentary. One of them is the one who played, you know, the white girl, and I don't even know her character's name, you know, the sissy, and that other white girl that was left at the camp. So the white girl is commentary. And the other woman who does commentary is that woman who dies with her boyfriend on the motorcycle. I'm like, oh my God, you know, she's in like one scene for, you know, for 60 seconds and she's doing a commentary, whatever. That's kind of, I don't want to be mean or whatever, but, you know, all the names of the performers I don't know, you know, in Friday the 13th movies necessarily, the later ones, you know, the smaller parts I don't know, you know, who the hell actor performers names are and what characters they go with. So I was kind of like, God, they got that woman who was in just that one scene to do commentary, but whatever, I guess she was technically there or whatever, so I guess she counts as a performer. But that's probably one of the smallest parts in a movie that I've ever had someone do a, you know, complete commentary on a movie with someone who just has one scene or whatever. But I guess technically, you know, she's a victim of Jason Voorhees in the franchise or whatever, so I guess we can, I guess it only makes sense to have her do a commentary. Packaging, just like the first 5, of course, is amazing with the original poster art. One thing I was looking at this today, and it's just like, I don't know, it looks like Friday 13th. You know, the title here is a little bit off to one side when it could be scooted over maybe a little more towards my finger. I don't know why it's, you know, it looks off center there and looks like it's further over to the left than it needs to be, in my opinion. But regardless, most of the time it's going to spend in here with the spine facing out, and it's just so great how we've got these original kind of, you know, fonts finally on the artwork and the spines and stuff. And this, I've never seen this image here of the, you know, the woman with the bloody windshield in her face behind it before. I don't know if I'd really use that particularly, but then of course we've got the famous shot of, when I was a kid, I always thought this was, you know, Jason coming out of lava or whatever. But of course, I think on the VHS, this is the only image on the back of the VHS, the famous shot of Jason coming out of the fiery Crystal Lake, of course. So just like with all the artworks on this release, luckily you've got original theatrical artwork. A little bit of a bummer about the title being off to one side, but what are you going to do? Opening up the case, you've actually got the title that was actually centered on the disc with the original artwork. What do you know? So that's really cool. And I think this is the first release. The first 5 movies have a reversible cover art option. This is the first release in this collection that doesn't, because for the most part it's just been one poster to basically, you know, go with this movie. What they do for the inside, however, is show this pretty cool picture of Jason Voorhees and the kind of a full page spread, if you will, on the inside of the Blu-ray artwork, just going across the front and back of the inside of the cover. So that's really pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed my little review of the Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives Blu-ray from the recently released Scream/Shout Factory Friday the 13th Deluxe Edition Blu-ray box set. Definitely great to have this movie. Like I say, I mean, before this version came out, I mean, I guess I wasn't so aware how much the first Blu-ray was really effed up, and now watching this version, it's like, oh my gosh. I would almost recommend, if you're a big fan of this movie and not so much the other movies or the franchise, I would almost recommend, it looks so much better on this version, I would almost recommend buying this collection just to have Part 6 on Blu-ray looking this good. To me, it's, I don't want to make too big a deal about it, but to me the difference is like that good. So thank you very much for watching this video, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.